Hey, this is Dr. Bagley. All right, so today I want to talk to you a little bit about history and present stuff. Okay? What I'm about to say is educational only. I'm not trying to make a point. I'm not trying to tell anyone to do or not to do. It's just education. Okay? So take it this way. It really started off with the Hawaii issue. The Hawaii issue of what we now know, where the governor and the mayor just trying to take the land. They have an objective and they want to take this land. Okay. With technology in today's time through the military ranks, we know what has been used is an advanced military ranks. Now we can say military or we can say private, because quite honestly, it's the private industry who actually funds the military, or not funds, but to deliver to the military. So whoever, we know technology, we know the way of the government has just been designed and the forcefulness of it. Everyone is now looking at it in the context of communism and so on. And I'm saying, no, that's the wrong way to look at it. The right way to look at it, in my point of view, for educational purposes, is look at it in history. When you have the Black Wall Street, for those who do not know, it was a black community who was advanced for their area. Somebody came and destroyed it. When you have Mexican and the Spanish community was advanced, somebody came and destroyed it. And when you have Genghis Khan, somebody comes and destroys. When you have Rome, is an example. What do I mean? What I mean by what I'm saying is this: when you decide that you want to take your life from here to here, you have to understand somebody is going to come and want to take it from you. Okay. In history, somebody always comes and takes and destroys somebody else's stuff that they created. Egypt, I mean, go through history. This is the mentality. This is the permission. And this is what a lot of people don't realize. It is a permission from a story. Moses, peace upon him, told a story. Not told a story, but he actually lived it. Took a group of slaves, put them in the wilderness. That environment wasn't conducive enough to build for themselves. And so they saw somebody else who had milk and honey. And they went to a God that a lot of you still serve. You went to a God to give them permission to go take somebody else's milk and honey that they created. And so Moses did exactly what the Lord said to do, to take somebody else's milk and honey. And you can trace this all the way back to the Tower of the Babel. And for reference, this is in the Torah or Old Testament, Genesis 11, 1 through 9. It's the story. It is the story where the people were one. What does that mean? It's not just language. It's irrelevant to the fact of language. Yes, we had common denominator of language. Quite honestly, in today's time, globally, we have one language. It's the English language. Is the common denominator. But the Tower of Babel, the story, even if it's a myth, it gives a good indication of a fact, and that is this: the people, mankind, was under one. We had one government. We had one financial. We had one ruleship. We were one people. Okay. And this is what the New World Order is wanting us to do. It's to be one government, one financial, one everything. Okay, which is fine. I personally, I don't care. We gotta live, we gotta survive. But the point is, the powers at be wants us to be one, the new world. Okay, fine. But keep in mind, if it's true, meaning there's a fly or mosquito, whatever. if it is true, it was the Lord who saw the people being one, and it was the Lord who destroyed, separated, confused the people. So you, and I say you, I'm not saying you, I'm just saying the historical writing shows us a Lord who actually was jealous in a people who were oneness. Then it shows jealousy when you have a people who don't have anything, and then another group of people who have something and they want it. And then you have history from the blacks with Wall Street, from the Spanish, from Egypt and Africa, name it. They were fighting each other. So the question at hand is, if you know what you just now, what I explained, and you know, this mosquito's just bugging me. If you know what you just now know, what I'm trying to get you to understand is this: you can't stop it. You can't stop a one world order, those who have power beyond power to want to unify. You can't stop them. If that's what they want, that's what they want. You can't stop somebody taking your stuff. You can try, but at the end of the day, they'll just come and shoot you and kill you, like the Black Wall Street, Spanish, and so on. So what do? You have to get outside of your comfort zone. The element of surprise in all of the Tower of Babel, the milk and honey stories in the Torah, the Black Wall Street, the Spanish community, and Hawaii. The common denominator downfall was they were comfortable. When you get comfortable, that's when opportunity can come by strength, because they see your strength. They see your strength, and they see your comfort in your strength. And only thing they have to do is match or be greater than your strength, and the element of surprise, they'll come and take your stuff and kill you, and don't care. Who cares if you die? I want your stuff. So in this context, this is the mentality that is going on in this world. You have one who's unifying, and then you have another point of view who's confusing, and then you have another group who's just buying whatever and taking whatever they want to take. Okay? The unifying one group is governmental. You just can't control that. It's way, way, way above your pay rate. The one who's confusing, that's at the local level, if you will. That local level is something that you guys have to understand, that it is purposeful for you not to assemble. What does that mean? So if I want to call 20 guys and say, hey, let's go meet at the parking lot, no, we can't. We're not without a permit. Even if it's my place of business and I call a group of friends, 20 group of friends to come to my place of business, the police officers are not allowing you to assemble. Because why? It's they don't want you to unify. That's why. Because unify takes control over. You see what I mean? So you have the big boys, then you have the local boys, and then you have the greedy boys. And you have to separate it like that. The greedy, it's irrelevant. They're just greedy. The local boys, it's irrelevant. They're just the local boys. And the big boys, they're just irrelevant. They're just the big boys. And so where do you fit in? Well, if you don't fit in the big boy government, just don't worry about it, because there's really nothing that you're going to do. You just go along with the flow or don't. It's irrelevant. They're going to do what they're going to do. It's the local boys. Are they pressuring you? Are they doing what they're doing? Well, you can give them kickback, but keep in mind, government is not for you. Just be mindful of that fact. But you can kick back. And then you have the greedy ones. Well, the greedy ones, unless you know what they know and more, you just can't control that fact. And that's what you're dealing with in today's time. And that's what Hawaii is dealing with. And that's what Hawaii was dealing with just as much as the blacks were dealing with it, just as much as Spanish, just as much as Egypt, just as much as the milk and honey, just as much as the Tower of Babel. I guess the key takeaway from this is understanding what the issue is, understanding the different types of groups, and try not to blur them, because they're really not blurred. One, the big boys are using the local boys. They're using them and controlling them. And then the big boys and the local boys can't control the greedy boys and girls. They can't control them because the big boys and the local boys is dependent on them. Okay? So now you have a system, if that's the system, and again, this is the system that I'm describing here in the United States. I'm not going anywhere else. I'm just saying the United States. Hawaii is part of the United States, which is an Asian country. Anyway, the point is, understand it, find where you are fit in, and never, ever, ever get comfortable, especially if you have milk and honey or land. All right? Let me know what you guys think. Share it if you want to share it. If not, it's okay. Educational purposes only. I'm not trying to do nothing. I'm not trying to ask you to do anything. I'm just giving you education only to give you a different point of view. All right? All right. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.